Chapter 2. Identifying the Hidden Causes of Your Stress. Welcome to the second chapter of our journey. In the first chapter, we learned to distinguish between good stress and bad stress and understood how burnout differs from regular fatigue. Now it's time to delve deeper. It's pointless to fight a fire if you don't know where its source is. Similarly, trying to manage stress without understanding its true causes is ineffective. Have you ever noticed that the same situations cause intense tension for you but not for others? This happens because each of us has unique triggers, the triggers that initiate a stress response. These triggers can be obvious, such as constant conflict with a boss or financial difficulties. But often they are hidden and not obvious, and we don't even consider that these are what cause our irritation and fatigue. For example, you might feel down after interacting with a certain person. You dismissed it as being in a bad mood, but in reality, you encountered an internal trigger, the fear of saying no and the unwillingness to defend your boundaries. Or perhaps you constantly procrastinate on important tasks, which makes you feel guilty, which in turn is an external trigger, excessive workload. To learn how to manage stress, we need to learn how to identify all these hidden triggers. We will analyze what exactly throws you off balance, which events, thoughts, or people make your heart race and your muscles tense. To make it easier, let's divide all triggers into two large groups, external and internal. External triggers are events, situations, and people from our environment that cause stress. They are easier to recognize because they occur around us. Examples of external triggers: work and study, constant deadlines, high workload, conflicts with colleagues or management, fear of dismissal. Relationships, family conflicts, quarrels with loved ones, toxic communication with friends or acquaintances. Finances, debts, financial instability, lack of money. Everyday problems, traffic jams, noisy neighbors, equipment breakdowns, minor household issues that accumulate and cause irritation. Internal triggers are our own thoughts, beliefs, attitudes, and habits that provoke stress. They are harder to notice since they reside within us, but they often have the strongest impact. Examples of internal triggers: perfectionism, the desire to do everything perfectly. When something doesn't work out, you experience feelings of guilt and disappointment, leading to stress. Unrealistic expectations. You expect too much from yourself and others. If those expectations aren't met, you feel down. Guilt. You constantly blame yourself for past mistakes or feel guilty when refusing requests from others. Inability to say no. You agree to requests and tasks even when you don't have the strength or time, just to avoid offending anyone. Identifying these triggers is the first step towards breaking the vicious cycle of stress. When you clearly understand what causes your tension, you can not only avoid these situations, but also learn to change your reaction to them. Now we'll move on to the most important part of this chapter, a practical exercise that will help you identify your personal triggers. The stress diary is your personal observation journal. Over the course of a week or two, you will need to record situations that triggered strong emotions, irritation, anxiety, anger, or feelings of hopelessness. Your task is not just to state the fact, but to break down the situation into components. You can use an ordinary notebook, notepad, phone app, or spreadsheet. Here's the structure of the diary. Date and time. When did the stressful situation occur? Situation. Describe exactly what happened. Be as specific as possible. Don't write, "It was a tough day." Instead, write something like, "At the meeting, my supervisor criticized my report." Your thoughts. What did you think at that moment? For example, "I messed up again. He always underestimates me. I never get anything done." Your emotions. What feelings did you experience? Anger, hurt, fear, disappointment, hopelessness? Rate their intensity on a scale from 1 to 10. Physical sensations. What did you feel in your body? Increased heart rate, clenched fists, tension in your shoulders, headache, cold palms, the urge to run away. Your reaction. How did you respond? Did you yell, stay silent, leave, start eating sweets, smoke? Analysis. Why, in your opinion, did this situation cause such a reaction in you? What was special about it for you? Example of filling out the diary. Date and time. August 15th, 12:40. Situation. The supervisor called and asked urgently to redo the presentation, although I had already planned to take a lunch break. My thoughts. He doesn't respect my time. I'll never finish on time. I must be doing something wrong. My emotions. Irritation, 9 out of 10. Feeling of helplessness, 7 out of 10. Physical sensations, clenched teeth, tensed neck muscles, felt hot. My reaction. I answered sharply that I'm busy but still took on the work, giving up my lunch. Analysis. My internal triggers are the fear of not coping with the work and the inability to say no, while the external trigger is the unfair treatment by my supervisor. Fill out the diary every time you feel stress coming on. Don't try to analyze or change anything right away. Just record the information. After a week, you can revisit your entries and see the full picture. Most likely, you'll notice recurring patterns. For instance, you might realize that most stressful situations are related to your job, a specific person, or your perfectionism. This exercise will not only help you identify your personal triggers, but also teach you mindfulness. You will begin to notice how stress manifests in your body and how you react to it before the situation gets out of control. This knowledge is the first step toward gaining control over stress. In the next chapter, we will delve into the science of stress and understand how it specifically affects your body and brain.